interesting. We've got the recorded started. I'm sending the post on Facebook and Twitter. Getting started now. So this is my first time. So first time in 2016. Oops. And I said getting scared now. Funny. All right. Well, what time is it? I got a minute left. Let me do one more thing. Hi, how are you? So Mark, are you a business owner? Are you someone that knows about sales funnels or interested in sales funnels? Tell me a little bit about what's the deal here. Getting started. 5 essential elements of a profitable sales funnel. Hashtag funnel helper. All right, so Blab is here, Lee is here, and let me switch this around. How do we double tap to flip the camera? Okay, all right, perfect. Well, I am super excited. And today, welcome. Today we are talking about the 5 essentials of a profitable sales funnel in 2016. So in 2016, hello, 60RF71, hi. During this time, I'm doing a Periscope and I'm also doing a Blab. So this ought to be interesting. So we'll see how it works. But welcome on Periscope and welcome on the Blab. So let me tell you a little bit, I guess, about what we want to accomplish today. The internet is changing. The internet is changing and sales funnels are changing. So a little bit about what it is that we want to talk about. We want to talk about sales funnels. And I don't know how familiar you may be with the idea of a sales funnel. Oh, you know what? Let me unlock my seat here. Okay. While we're getting started, all right, welcome, Melissa Ward. How are you? Welcome to the call. We're talking about sales funnels, and this is really an interesting time for me because what I'm doing this year is usually I build sales funnels for individuals. I build sales funnels for teams and companies, and this year, my company, Fullest Extent Media, is launching Funnel Helpers. And we want to do also some education. All right. So in educating and also in doing the actual services, I think we'll be able to reach a larger group of people. Now, what I have for today are 5 essentials of a profitable sales funnel, but also on Blab, you'll see that I have an open seat. So if you have a question about something I'm talking about, then you could jump into the seat and we could talk about it. If you don't have a question, or you could simply type in your questions in the Q&A block and I'll be able to see them and then I could answer it from there, okay? So that's kind of how it's going to flow today. I'm super excited. If you can't hear me, let me know. Hey, welcome. They're on Periscope, ADIG98. Welcome. Also, on Blab, I'm kind of new to this Blab thing, but I see the little hands down at the bottom. They're kind of like this, right? I guess they're like this. And that means, hello, how you doing? I'm also on Blab and Periscope, so I'll be going back and forth trying to multitask. They say it's not as efficient to multitask, but hey, it's 2000. It's beginning 2016, and I'm feeling pretty good, right? So if I say something that piques your attention, if I say something that gets your attention, then you appreciate, you can give me some claps, and that's by tapping on the button or tapping on my face or on my chest or the logo or whatever. You get a couple of claps that way. All right, thank you. Got a couple hearts there. Yes, that's exactly how you do it. All right, so now that the orientation is done, hey, let's get to work. I know you guys are busy, and I want to make this worth your time for tuning in today. So, all right, let's get to work. Mark Horde, Melissa Ward, and Kay Styles in New York, welcome. Today we're talking about sales funnels. Now, what I'm going to try to do today is use my little flip chart. Usually I have a PowerPoint presentation, and I have a PowerPoint presentation, but I'm unable to, if anybody knows how to do that, that would be great. But in the absence of that, I'm going to have to write the notes on my little flippy, my little flip chart, right? So in a sales funnel, one question I have to ask is, does anyone know what a sales funnel is? Does anyone know what a sales funnel is? I'm a little bit of a teacher, so if I get into my teaching mode and asking questions, then just say, hey, just give me the content. No, I don't say that, but you can give me the information. Hello, welcome, Stephanie. Hello. Okay, so she does understand what a sales funnel is. If at any time a person wants to jump in and we can have a conversation about a sales funnel, or you can give the comment in. Now, sales funnels. For those who do not know, it is a systematic process to move a person from through your sales funnel, or a systematic design of moving your people through a sales process, right? So that's from, hey, how are you doing, Stephanie? So that's from a unaware to a prospect, to a lead, to a customer, to a repeat customer. And what we're going to do today is show you how to move the essential and profitable parts of moving people through that process. All right, so I think this is going to be fun. I'm excited to get going, and here we go. So the first essential part of a profitable sales funnel. Now this one is a little woo-woo, but I gotta put it out there first. It's a campaign mindset. You have to start the sales funnel with a campaign mindset, and this is why. The reality is, in 2016, customers have more options. Customers have more options of people they can give their money to, people they can spend time with, people they can interact with. So in 2016, it's no longer you no longer have the ability to have a simple, hey, here's my squeeze page, or here is my offer, buy it, right? In 2016, there's more options. Believe it or not, there is another person that does what you do or very similar to what you do. So the options are there. The next thing you have to realize is that distractions are instantly accessible. Okay, so when you're moving a person through your sales funnel, at any time, a distraction or another opportunity can pop right into the sales funnel. What do you mean? Well, some of you got here by way of Facebook, or some of you got here by an email list, or some of you got here just by going on Blab, or on Periscope. Hi, Periscope. So if you, what that means is the place that you found this Blab or this presentation there are also other things that were going on at the same time. It's kind of weird because I'm looking at both, I'm scanning my sector. For those of you who don't know, I was in the military for a couple of years. So Scanning sector is kind of a military thing. Anyway, so if you're on Facebook, there are multiple distractions on Facebook, something that can instantly derail your process. If you're on Blab, there are other blabs that are going on, something that can instantly derail your sales process. If you're on the phone, there are other things that may be going on in the office. If you're talking to someone that's coming in, that can instantly derail your sales process. If you're on the internet, we know that there are things that can derail your sales process. If you are sending an email and doing email marketing, we know that just above and below your email was another email, most likely, right? Something that could easily derail your sales process. So how do we do that? So what do? How should we handle this situation? Well, we have to develop what I call a campaign mindset. The campaign mindset lets us know that we are not creating, should I be writing it down? Should I be writing it down using my little scribble? So campaign mindset. That was horrible. That was horrible writing. Okay. So let's just do mindset because that's a little easier. You see that? Mindset. Is that backwards? I don't know if that's backwards or not. Is that backwards? Could be. On my side, it looks backwards. Maybe on your side, it's straight up. But the campaign mindset is thank you. It's not backwards. Perfect. So I can use my board. I'm so happy I can use my board. Usually I teach in front of a whiteboard. So the fact that I can still have a board up, I think this is going to be how I do my blabs in 2016. Okay. So campaign mindset. Your sales process is an event. I'm sorry. It's not an event. It's a sales process. Okay. Which means there are things that you have to, have in place and look at it holistically. You want to look at your sales process from a holistic standpoint. All right. The next thing is never underestimating the task of the sale. Okay. Never underestimating the task. And what does that mean? A lot of times we think that a campaign is simple or that a campaign is an easy one-step process. Marketing and sales is hard. Marketing and sales is hard. Why? Because you have to get a person to, you have to get a person moving. You have to it's easiest for a person to do nothing. Okay. It's easiest for a person to do nothing. So in your marketing and sales process, you have to encourage, you have to entice, you have to do a lot of things to get that person moving. And that is why you need to think in the terms of a campaign mindset. Does that make sense to anyone? Is that making sense? Yes, maybe. Perfect. So never underestimating the difficulty of the task. So what does that mean? If I don't estimate the difficulty of the task, what should I be doing? This is how you do it. With your campaign mindset, you're using your sales process has a before, a during, and an after. Okay, you have to think in terms of a before, during, and after. And what does that mean? What are things that I am going to do, or how am I going to be positioned before the sales process or before the sales opportunity? How am I going to position myself? How am I going to pre-frame them? How am I going to prepare them for before they even get to my sales opportunity, right? The next part is during. During the sales opportunity, what does that look like? What does that include? What does that entail? How do I get a person to take part in my sales process? and to actually convert into a sale, going into the funnel, in the funnel, and coming out of the sales event or the sales process. And the third part is actions, the after actions. What's going to happen after they make a purchase or make a sale? So if you start thinking in the terms of a campaign mindset, you are more likely to do things that are positioning, okay, and the before. They are effective in the during, and they're continuing on in the after. That is the mentality of the campaign mindset. And so the first thing is the mindset, which needs to be a part of a profitable campaign going into 2016. Now, are there any questions? Like I said, there is an open seat. So if someone has their camera or audio available and would like to jump on and have a conversation where we can answer your question about the campaign mindset, then here's your first opportunity. Is there someone that wants to jump on the seat? Is this locked? I don't think it's locked. I think the seat is open. What does that say? Oh, that's locked. Okay, now it's open. Okay. So now we have an open seat. Anyone? Okay. Well, I am going to move on to number 2. The second thing you need in the campaign mindset, for a profitable campaign in 2016 is an articulated outcome. Articulated outcome. So there is, I would spell articulated, but I do not. I understand, Stephanie. I understand. It's a little challenging in front of the, trying to get my lighting right and trying to be on it. But I did finally shave. So that way I look pretty good on camera, hopefully. Woo! But the outcome, all right? An articulated outcome. So in 2016, your profitable sales funnel needs to have a clear and articulated outcome. What does that mean? An articulated outcome is when you verbally give the benefit of your product or service, okay? Hey, what's up, Q Swaggin' You? Hey, just joined on Periscope. How you doing? So your articulated outcome is when you're able to verbally describe the benefit of your product or service, okay? Too many times there is an offer and a person can't tell specifically what will be the result or the benefit of the offer. Have you ever seen that? Yeah, hey, we will grow your business. What does that mean? How are you going to grow my business? What is the verbalized benefit or articulated outcome of you working in my business? Hey, if you offer a training, then what is the identified or articulated outcome that they will get from your training, right? So if you, let's say you're a relationship coach, I don't know. If someone wants to put in what they're either on Periscope or on Blab, if you want to let me know what your product or service is, then I could give you a specific example. I would like for this to be as interactive as possible. Hello, Charles Marlowe. Welcome on Periscope. I'm asking to see if anyone has a business or service they would like some direct coaching on, and that would help. And that way you can get the most benefit from your time here. All right. So, articulated outcome. An articulated outcome. If you are a relationship coach, then maybe your articulated outcome is you will be able to uncover the, okay, you're able to have a definite relate a definite discussion about finances without arguing. And I'm going to show you how to approach that conversation, and I'm going to show you how to start that conversation. Does that make sense? An articulated outcome. If you are a funnel builder, a funnel helper like myself, an articulated outcome would be at the end of our time together, you will have a full functioning sales funnel, right? Sales funnel that includes your lead attraction offer, your opt-in, your sequence, and your sales page. To even go even deeper, a person could say, hey, we would have a profitable sales funnel. Now, a profitable sales funnel is not only the pages in place, but we could pour money into it and money would actually come out the back. So that's what an articulated outcome is. So if you have a business or a service or a product and you would like coaching or some assistance creating how to describe your articulated outcome, you can jump on the seat here in Blab. And we're blabbing at, that's not a good URL. You can search, you can go to Blab and look for hashtag or at Fullest Extent Media, and the Blab should come up. That's one way to do it, I think. All right. Now, once you have this articulated outcome, how do you use it? All right. In a profitable sales funnel, you have to use this articulated outcome. You can reinforce the statements. You can reinforce the statements in your opt-in headlines. Okay. So you can target exactly what their outcome will be in your headline. So if you are, I'm trying to come up with different ones other than just my business. So if someone that's watching could tell me the product or service that they offer, then I could maybe use your example, which allow you to get value from your time today. So what do we got? What do we got here? All right, so if we have a transition coach, okay? So if a person is a transition coach, your articulate, well, I guess it would depend on what they're transitioning from. Are they transitioning from incarceration to out of jail? If they're transitioning from corporate environment to small business owner, if they're transitioning from married to single, widowed, whatever, right? But my point is, you have to articulate the outcome. You have to tell specifically what your sales funnel or what your sales process will provide, right? You can use it in your lead-in magnet. So your lead magnet would articulate the outcome in the lead magnet. Hey, lose 5 pounds in 10 days, right? So how to lose 5 pounds in 10 days. It's articulated on the lead magnet, right? Another thing could be your product titles or your offer titles. They can articulate the outcome. So if your product allows a person to network more effectively, then your product could be meet your ideal client at the networking meeting. Or a articulate or lead magnet, for an articulated lead magnet could be the 3 questions you should never ask in a networking environment, right? Or the 3 questions that always that are more likely to get a positive response, right? That would be an articulated outcome, or how to set up a meeting, how to use a networking function to generate, how to start a high ticket sale at a networking function, right? When I say high ticket, we're talking, whatever high ticket would be in your case, okay? So I'm going to keep moving. The first thing was the campaign mindset. There's no more one and done. Hey, I send one email and we get a response, or I send one email and people show up. That's not going to work. Or, hey, I send one text message, that's not going to work. There needs to be the campaign mindset. The second thing is the articulated outcome. You need to tell people what they could expect to have from going through your sales process or your sales funnel. If you're a product owner, sometimes it's a lot easier. You can say, hey, my doohickey, I met with a guy the other day, and we were talking about he has a new brand of cell phone accessory. So he said, with this new cell phone accessory, you're able to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I mean, this thing did like 12 different things. What was the name of it? I can't think of the name of it right now. But this cell phone accessory, it could hang around your neck. It could prop it up on your desk. You could take your selfies without falling down. You could be upside down. You could do all kinds of stuff. Why? He articulated the outcome. That's what you have to do in your sales process. Next, step number 3 is, and I alluded to this is momentum. Momentum. See that? You gotta have momentum. I'm moving it fast because I'm not sure if it's spelled correctly. No, I'm kidding. You gotta have momentum. But before we get into momentum, is there anyone that would like to jump in the hot seat? I help women, minority, small, and veteran business owners gain clarity and the confidence to bid on government contracts. Okay, so hold on. What's this? What's that do? Oh, wait a minute. I think we have. Hey, Stephanie? Oh, no. Wait a minute.
It's coming.
Is something coming on? I see something coming. Maybe we'll just have the audio. Maybe she got something covering her camera. Connection is blocked due to a firewall. Is that on my side?
Oh.
Okay. It says connection error. Make sure your connection isn't blocked by a firewall.
Okay.
Stephanie, can you hear me? Oh, Stephanie went on air. Yeah. Stephanie, can you hear me? Stephanie Burrows at Biz in Spirit.
Yes.
You are live. Can you hear me? No?
I can hear you.
Okay. Is it mine? Do I have a FireWire on mine? Okay. Okay, I just couldn't see you, so I didn't know. Say something. Maybe I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
While I go grab something.
Lee, can you hear me now?
All right. Okay. You can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. I can't hear you. Are you trying to say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Give her a moment. Maybe I'll hurry in. All right, great. While Stephanie's getting ready, we have our first live hot seat. This is going to be fun. While you're waiting, if you also would like to jump onto a seat a little later, then if you also want to jump on a seat, you can do so, and we can chat with you as well. All right. So on Periscope, how's everything doing? Let me check here. All right, everything seems to be going. On Blab, we got our caller coming in.
Try.
So while we're waiting for that, while we're waiting for Stephanie. Let me turn it.
Okay.
Oh wait, are you sure you want to kick this person? No. Okay, that's what that X means. That X means it takes them off. Got it. All right. Again. What are the first 3 keys? Okay, sure. The first key was a campaign mindset. So the campaign mindset is in your sales funnel, you can no longer do a one and done. You have to think in terms of before the sales process, during the sales process, and after the sales process. Very good question. The second key, or the second essential step of a profitable sales funnel, is you must have an articulated outcome. So the articulated outcome is where you tell what a person could have or will have from going through your sales process or going through your sales funnel. Now, you may be asking, where would I do this? Where do I have this information? You place the information. It could be on your opt-in page, or it could be in the phone call. Some of the people on the call are not only just internet, but in brick and mortar businesses. So it could be how you answer the phone when you're having a sales conversation. And another place you can put it is in the name of the product. All right. Now, the third key is momentum. You have to create momentum in the sales process. Momentum in the sales process. Now, why should you create momentum in the sales process? Well, according to the laws of motion and of physics, a body at rest will stay at rest. So in your sales process, you have to get people moving along. You have to get people moving in the right direction. I want to say, hey, welcome, Search Talk Live. We are having open hot seats. So this seat is open. If a person wants to get some direct coaching on their sales funnel or their marketing funnel, I have a seat that's open and we can chat. All right. But to get back to your question on Periscope, the third one is momentum. We have to get people moving. You have to get people moving. How do you get people moving? One way to do it is by exposure. Okay. You get momentum in your sales funnel by exposure. All right. I think we have a caller. Let's see. Okay. Hello.
Still not coming up.
I hear the audio. I just don't see the video.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. It may just be a software glitch.
Yep. Technology issue. Yes. Yes. So
coming on. And so I know it's a software glitch.
On my side, it says poor internet signal. So I don't know. It mentioned a FireWire on the other side, and then now it's saying that the signal. But we can hear you.
Yes.
So introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Stephanie D. Burrows. I am an inspirational speaker, workshop facilitator, and business navigator. And I'm also an author of a book and audiobook called Dating Your Business Prospect.
Outstanding.
What I'm doing is I've been helping minority women, small veteran business owners for more than 30 years overcome their fear and their frustration when it comes to navigating the government contracting sector. And I've been working with women business owners in a program called Thought Therapy, helping them to get clear on their goals, objectives, their thought process, and the words they're speaking, which all impact your actions.
Perfect. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have a question about the campaign mindset, about the articulated outcome, or we're just getting into prospect momentum? How can I help?
Well, when you were talking about articulated outcome, no, I'm going to go back to campaign mindset.
Okay. All right. Campaign mindset.
Yes. And, I'm using Infusionsoft, and I'll be calling you soon for some campaigns. Hello. Because one thing I've recognized, and I've been on Infusionsoft a lot of their workshops, I've had their coaches, the whole 9 webinars, you name it. But the bottom line is, it's not my genius. I'm working in my genius, and I'm allowing other people to work in theirs on my behalf.
Okay.
Good to understand the concepts, good to understand and know how to use these things. But to do this on a regular basis does not make sense when you need to be doing what it is people are buying from you, providing those services.
Good. You bring up a good point. You're during this call. The reason a person needs to be paying attention to the call is not only does, even if someone else is doing your marketing or creating the actual pages and so forth, you still need to be involved in the process because as a business owner, you can't simply turn over your business to another person because at the end of the day, the only person that is the most committed to your business's success is you.
That's right.
So, yes, in this call, that's why you need to have the campaign mindset. That way, when you're talking to your outsourcer or Infusionsoft, because I use Infusionsoft as well. I've been through many of the coaches or the trainings, and I had to, the first time I went through one, I was waiting for them to tell me what to do, right? And they don't know my business, so it was hard for them to tell me what to do. The second time I went through another coaching, another training, again, I build sales funnels. So I knew this is what I needed to do, and you have the skill set to get me there. So if a person needs the campaign mindset, with the campaign mindset, you can go in, you may not be sure of how all the technology works, but going in, you say, hey, at the beginning, I want to do this. How make this happen? Work it like this. And then here's what I want to happen here, and here is how it should end up. Can we do it? And that helps a person get a lot, get more done, because a lot of times, and I see this often, not necessarily with you, but sometimes I see is when a person hires someone else, they take their hands off the wheel and say, hey, person, you're the expert, you go do it. And many times you have to not necessarily drive the bus, but you have to be the one in the back saying, hey, my stop's over here. Hope I'm not mixing metaphors too much, but does that make sense?
Oh, well, I can tell you from my previous experience with you, and yeah, you worked me. You pulled all kinds of stuff out of me in order for you to know exactly what you needed to do. And so I've really got a great appreciation for that. I mean, when I'm working with my clients and I navigate them, which is a little bit of coaching and consulting and advising and navigating via the web to specific resources.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing when you're used to doing that with other people.
Right.
You did that with me. Boy, I mean, you really took me to task. My brain hurt.
Right. Well, because, and like I said earlier.
Good though, I got a better understanding in helping you to understand.
Right. Absolutely. And a lot of times talking to someone, for a long time, I never understood the coaching business. I was like, no one needs a coach. Why does a person need a coach? But what I found out from working with coaches and becoming sort of a coach myself, I realized that when I articulate what I want, and that's why step number 2 was the articulated outcome. When you're able to articulate what you want, what you're trying to do. Now, in the sales funnel context, if you're able to articulate what the purchaser should receive or should get from going through the process, then there's clarity. And in 2016, that clarity has got to be there in order for a purchase to be made. Very good point. Very good point.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you, because you talk about a campaign, and when I hear that term, I immediately think of the CRM that we use in the campaigns that are created in that. But doesn't that also include a number of other things? And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I started back to doing something I'd gotten away from. I was posting all my blogs on my WordPress, but I decided after having been coached by someone who focuses on LinkedIn, and I said, okay, I'll recycle those blog posts and enhance them. And I put them up on LinkedIn as a long form post. Now and I was told that for some reason or another, Google will pick up that, and you'll get a higher ranking when you're posting regularly on LinkedIn. So fine, I did that. And here's what happened. It shocked me. Within moments of publishing, I was getting people reading these things and commenting and responding. And today being just the second day I decided to go and do this, I have a lead. Actually, it's a prospect. Now, I didn't even prospect them. They just came in and said, we need you to speak at such and such. What do we need to do? And so I'm hiring that lead now. Bottom line is that's a part that was done with the express intent of I wanted to generate just that outcome. Someone would understand what it is I do, but they're also getting a lesson from me, or they're getting whatever it was they got from me in my blog post. And now they're taking the action that that was my original intent, to get that kind of a response. And that was just part of my campaign process.
Right. So kind of in the before, what you said, you were able to get done what you were able to get the result you were looking for.
Right.
And because part of the before of a campaign is, hey, what am I trying to do? What result am I trying to get from this campaign? Because a lot of times, particularly with social media or LinkedIn, sometimes people create content for the sake of creating content, right? Or they post on LinkedIn for the play, because somebody said you should be posting on LinkedIn. But you had a specific reason and you went in and tweaked your post so that you get the results you wanted. And that's that campaign mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you. Thank you. The seat is open for another person if they would like to jump in. But I'm going to go on to step 3 in the process. For those that are just coming back or just joining us, welcome, Black Enterprise. Welcome. Welcome, Dante GD76. Yes, dealing with traffic. A lot of traffic at the front end and during, because we do some of the retargeting aspect or whatever. If you want to have a traffic conversation, we would love to have that traffic conversation as well as it relates to building a sales process. So the third step 3 is momentum. Momentum. Ways to create momentum. One is through exposure. Okay, we can create exposure by repeated interaction. That's what I mean by exposure. Some people say contacts. Some people say touches. I was using E's, 3 E's. So one for prospect momentum, one's in exposure. A person needs to see your offer multiple times. And depending on who you ask, that number keeps going up. Remember it was, hey, you have to contact the person. Most salespeople stop at 3 touches. You got to touch them 5 times, and then it was 12 times. Now I've heard some people say 24 different touches, right? Now they don't all have to be on the phone call, but in an integrated process. And in 2019, I'm ready for 2019. In 2016, you have to have that integrated process and nudging them, moving them slowly towards your offer, because people buy when people are ready to buy. People purchase your product or service when they're ready. And actually, that's an advantage to the business owner. What? How is a person taking their time to buy an advantage to the business owner? Well, it is, because if some people buy now, some people buy later, some people buy a lot later, then there are sales and people coming in. Absolutely. There's longevity. There's stability to your business, right? So that's why you want to have those multiple touches, those multiple exposure. And that's how you get that momentum. Now, even in sales calls, they kind of say, as far as momentum, as far as the exposure, I usually get people asking, how much should I email my list? Or how frequently should I contact my audience? Or how frequently should I talk to my market? How many contacts? How many touches? Well, here's my rule of thumb on that. your length of the campaign should be proportional to the size of the purchase. Okay. So your length of campaign, well, there's actually a couple factors, but to make it simple, your length of your campaign should be proportionate to the size of the purchase. For instance, if I am looking to buy a private jet, right, the process probably isn't I walk over to, I find somebody online, make a phone call, and purchase a jet, right? We don't even buy cars like that. Statistically, people buy a car over a weekend or over 2 weeks or sometime over a couple months. Why? Because it's a larger purchase, right? So in your sales funnel, you want to keep in touch with them because think about it. And I did this the other day. All right, case in point. I finally landed this client. I have been working with this client for, I've been trying to get this client, I should say, for about 8 months, right? Now, this took a postcard. This took a letter on their birthday. This took a Christmas card. This took email sequence. This took a live offer. This took a lead gen or whatever. But I finally got it, right? So let's say it took 2 phone calls, a postcard, a Christmas card, 3 emails or whatever. What's that? $25 maybe? And that's an expensive postcard, right? So $25 for this individual person. And this project is going to be worth at least $4,000, right? Now, was it worth it? Of course it was worth it, Now, so because it took longer, I think, than it needed to. But in between that one and a previous one, I had people that I started working on earlier that were coming due, I call them popping, it's kind of like popcorn. It's in the microwave and it's just going. Some pop at the beginning, some pop at the end. But, in in 3 minutes and 5 seconds until they start slowing down, they're popping at different levels, at different intervals is what I'm saying. All right. So exposure. You need to have what's called marketing stamina. Okay. Marketing stamina, which means it's an event. Hey, if I do have to contact them 5 times, right? If I do have to contact them more than 3 times, for a larger sale, it's worth it, right? Now, if you are selling a $7 ebook, right? 3 emails, 3 emails, maybe a retargeting ad for your $7 ebook is appropriate, and then you can try to sell them something else. Unless, and then you try to sell them something else. A 2-year campaign for a $3 or $7 ebook is not worth it, unless there are multiple ebooks. So they said no to this one 3 times, offer them a different ebook, right? They said no to this one 3 times, offer them a different ebook. So you're getting the exposure because to them, this is their 9th exposure, but it's actually your 3rd offer. I hope that makes sense, okay? And then depending on the lifetime value of whether or not it's worth it, okay? So exposure, I spent way too much time on exposure, but expertise. To create prospect momentum, you want to, I call it checking the box, right? So you want them to be able to check the box on step 1, okay? Most people, their business is more than 1 step. Most people, their business is more than 1 step, even if you're online or offline. For instance, I have a client, a moving client, right? And some people would think that their sales process is 1 step, right? Hey, I need somebody to move. I'm moving from this side of town, that side of town. I need somebody to come move me. All right. It's more than just one step, because there are things that needed to be in place in order to get them to make that phone call, right? So what's another step? One thing we did was we creating a packing guide, right? So how you should pack dishes versus how you should pack, whatever. So a person that's moving is interested in this packing guide. We talked about how to find used boxes, right? Hey, get ready to move? Here's how you find used boxes. Yes, a lead magnet, lead attraction offer, absolutely. You want to give them a quick, but your lead magnet, and this is where some people miss it, your lead magnet needs to give them a quick win, okay? Help them check the box, get them moving in the right direction, okay? So why? Because you're kind of creating momentum. Easy to digest, right? Check the box. Step one, right? If I'm moving, let's say we're moving. Step one is find a location. Step two, rent a truck. Step three, pack my stuff. Step four, load the truck. Step five, blah, 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 right? So I want to give them step one, an easy win, help them check the box. Why? Because if I help them check a box, they're like, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good guy. Maybe he can help me do this, right? One of the things that we do on our website at fullestextentmedia.com is we give away email templates. Why? Because in our business, email, for the online marketers, email is a big part. So we offer people the first step. Here's how to create that first sequence. It's kind of a welcome sequence, so it's easy to digest and it gets a person moving, allows them to use the email templates and create their first step, right? But it also, that gives you expertise. That lets people know, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy knows what he's doing, all right? So create momentum, exposure, experience, blah, blah. Bring it down. Exposure, expertise, and expectation. Expectation gets people moving. Why? Step two, we talked about articulating the outcome. So if we're moving people and to get momentum, we keep talking about the outcome. So if you're into traffic, we keep talking about having consistent traffic. We keep talking about having to, I call it turning on the hose, right? So we're able to turn on the hose and get lead traffic to your offer, whether it's for testing or purposes or sales, right? We're talking about email marketing. We talk about having a large email list so that you're able to reach people cost effectively. So talking to their expectations, speaking to their better future. For Stephanie, we're talking about, hey, landing that contract, right? That gets people moving because we're talking to the direction they're going, and that helps create momentum. All right, that's step three. In the sales funnel, we need to have a campaign mindset. We need to articulate the outcome and use it on our landing pages and opt-in pages and so forth. And then we have to project, we have to give prospect momentum. How do we do that? What are areas that we can do the prospect momentum? We can apply it to the thank you pages. Some of you came through the opt-in process, and right after the opt-in process, there was a thank you video. Hey, thanks for signing up. I think I did one. Hey, thanks for signing up. Blah, 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 blah. What does that do? That gets you moving. Hey, it's not just this nameless, faceless. Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. An email will be coming shortly, blah, blah, blah. So it's getting the person moving, right? Prospect momentum. Videos before sign up. If you came all the way through the process, you'll see that a couple days or the next day after you signed up, you got an email that gave a tip, right? What's that? Momentum. It's a quick win. Hey, here's how you do something, right? Momentum, short sequences, right? So creating a shorter sequence helps you build momentum. I was working with a client, and we had a webinar coming up, right? And one client wanted to start promoting the webinar a month early. A month early. Do you know how much marketing stamina, you know how much momentum you have to keep a person on the line to come to a webinar in 30 days? That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's a challenging proposition. So the max I would say for a webinar is 10 days, right? Max about 10 days. Because if you, it'll help you speed up the process. You want to get people don't go on Facebook and in their email box to plan their life. Like, hey, a month later, I have this webinar. No. Now, if it's flying somewhere, if any of you are going to be at Traffic and Conversion Summit, I'm going to be at Traffic and Conversion. So if you're going to be in San Diego in February, I bought, because I have to get on a plane and travel, you purchase a month out. You start selling and booking it for live events further out. But short launch sequences gets momentum, keep people moving. And then guides and handouts keep people moving through your presentation. All right. So that was part 3. Is there anyone that would like to jump on and have a question about creating a lead magnet or a lead attraction offer, getting prospect momentum, or should I go on to number 4? Going once, going twice. All right. Number 4 is the offer. The offer. All right. You have to have an overwhelming offer. An overwhelming offer. So if you have a dinky little offer, you're not going to get people in 2016. All right. In 2016, you really have to create an offer that makes people say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this because this is a no-brainer, right? That's the type of offer you have to create. Now, when we talk about offer, I like to say, I learned this a couple years ago at a conference. Mike Filsaime was talking about, and he made this, it stayed in my head. He says, we don't make money. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we don't make money. Okay? Get that in your head. You don't make money. You accept money. We don't go into our little computer and print out dollar bills. That's actually illegal, right? People give us their money. So if a person is going to give us their money, then we have to have done something that made them willingly give us their money. All right, I want to give a shout out. Hello, Amy Jo. Hello, Kevin Barnes. Welcome. We're talking about the 5 aspects of a profitable sales funnel. This part is the overwhelming offer. People give you their money. So that means we have to do what I call tip the value scale, okay? We have to tip the value price scale. So imagine, okay, I'm asked if there will be a recording. If you opted in to be here, you will be able to get the recording. If you have not opted in and would still like a recording, I can email it to you. So you can send an email to lead@fullest. Okay, you opted in. Perfect. If you have not opted in, then I can send the email out to you to lead@fullestextentmedia. So the overwhelming offer. Tip the value price scale. What does that mean? In a person's head, there is a price associated with your offer. What someone would usually pay for your offer. Whether they got the price from a purchase payment, a previous purchase, whether they got the price from something on the internet, who knows where they got the price, but there is a price in their head of what something should cost, right? I know that a car should cost about this much for a Chevy, about this much for a Lexus, about this much for an Aston Martin, right? So in your head, you have to tip the value scale. So how much should your coaching cost? How much should it cost to have a whatever, right? You have to tip the value scale. How do you do that? I call it offer stacking. You tip the value scale with offer stacking. You have to continue to add value on top of the offer. You have to continue to add value. What does adding value looks like? Man, I'm getting really good questions. Adding value looks like here is the result. Here is where I am. Adding value me all the way to the result. Okay. Sometimes people will offer a product that only gets them halfway, or they offer a service that only gets you halfway. Well, the maximum value is getting a person all the way to the articulated outcome. We talked about articulated outcome. Adding value gets them all the way to the articulated outcome. The next thing, next way to add value or present overwhelming offer is to reduce the risk. So if we add value, I'm just moving my hands here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So if we add value and reduce risk, we're creating that value price scale. We're tipping that value scale, right? And that is step number 3, the overwhelming offer. How do we apply it? How can we apply it? Well, offering a complete solution. That's how we do it. Another way to do it is our persuasive copy. By articulating the outcome, by articulating the steps, presenting copy that showcases the value that we're giving. How else can we articulate it? Through proof elements. We can provide an overwhelming offer. Hey, this works for Billy. This worked for Sally. This worked for Jason. This worked for Mike. This worked for Trina. This worked for Janice or Sally or whoever. It'll work for you, right? That presents an overwhelming offer. In the legal profession, they call it a preponderance of proof. You know, there is so much proof, they are guilty, right? So there is so much proof, we know you're going to be able to supply. All right, that's how it works. Now, next there is the risk reducers, right? You increase your overwhelming offer by having risk reducers. What is a risk reducer? Things like, well, proof elements help reduce risk. Guarantees help reduce risk. Valuable bonuses help reduce risk. What? How does a bonus reduce risk? Like this. If I am getting this other thing and this thing, I see value in it, or I could see value in it. Hello, +1. Thank you, and welcome to the Blab today. We're going through 5 essential elements. All right, +1. I like that. I wonder if +1 has anything to do with it's like a software Infusionsoft software thing. But anyway, welcome, +1. We're talking about creating an overwhelming offer, and the way we do that is having a complete solution, being persuasive in our copy, increasing the proof elements, a preponderance of proof, an overwhelming show of proof, and risk reducers. So, +1 or anyone in the audience, if you'd like me to do a live question and answer with you regarding your business, feel free to jump on the seat. If you have camera and audio connected to your computer, you can jump on the seat and we can have a discussion about your profitable sales funnel for 2016. If you do not have a computer that, or your stuff isn't hooked up, you're able to put in the chat or put in the text your question, and we can answer your questions. As a quick review, step 1 was having a campaign mindset. Step 2 was having articulating the outcome. Step 3 was creating momentum. Step 4 is an overwhelming offer. If you have any questions about either of those, or all 3, or all 4 of the elements that we've gone through, then you can enter it now. If not, we'll proceed to number 5. Let me take a drink of water real quick. While I'm getting some water, at +1, what type of business are you in? If you don't mind sharing. We've had government contractors on, we've had traffic guys, we've had other small business owners. We've talked about moving companies. We've been through some different businesses today. I'm excited. All right. Well, we'll go on to element number 5. Element number 5. In a profitable sales funnel, essential element number 5 is, I think I killed the drum roll. It is the next thing. You have to have a next thing. In your sales funnel, you have to have a next thing. Why? Why is it valuable and necessary that in every sales funnel we have a next thing? Number 1, because your second sale is more profitable than your first sale. Usually the most profitable sale is your second sale. What do I mean by that? Well, usually in your first sale, you have to pay the cost of acquiring a customer, right? So in your first sale, if you got them from SEO, you got them from a sales organization or a sales team, you got them from a ad on Facebook or email marketing or a solo ad. Typically, there's an expense to getting someone in your sales process the first time, or getting someone to buy from you the first time. Sometimes it's a referral relationship. If you're offline, it's a referral relationship. You know, if you're offline, it could be included in your marketing expense with a signage or what have you. But the second sale, you don't have to pay the cost of acquiring them again. Because you don't have to pay the cost of acquiring them again, it's usually more profitable because now it's only the COGS, only the cost of goods sold. There's not the marketing expense or the acquisition cost in there as well. So that's why you have to have a next thing. Margins increase in your back end. Why? Because you've already acquired the customer. And what happens is sometimes a company, because they have a second and third and fourth sale or sales option, they will allow, they will go negative or break even on the first sale. So I launched a information product a couple years ago. And when I launched the product, I gave people, at first I was giving people 5%. You know, I was like, hey, you're an affiliate? No, I was giving them 25. Hey, you're an affiliate? I'll give you 25% of the sale. You know, depending on the amount of the sale. But because it was a low ticket offer, that didn't get a whole lot of attention for me. But when we started offering 50%, 75% of the sale, we start to get a little more interest. Now, why was I willing to give up 75% of the income? Some people do 100, but I wasn't there yet. Why was I willing to give up 75%? Because I was essentially paying them to send me a customer or send me prospects, okay? And if they're sending me prospects, then I don't have to pay advertising. I don't have to pay Google or Facebook or Twitter the money. I can just pay them and they can send me the customers, right? And then once I got the customer on my list, or particularly on my buyer list, then I can sell them something else. I can sell them additional services. So the next thing is a game changer. So in your business, start thinking, what is the next thing? Now, I recently did this in my business, right? Very first year in business, we were purely service oriented, right? Because I sold a couple products and I said, hey, let me go and do this. So we sold products. Then we started selling services. This year, we're getting back into selling products as well as services. Why? Because I start seeing, hey, you know what? I didn't have a next thing. So now that I have a next thing, my services, which is more time demanding, which is more expensive, can be after the product. My services now become my next thing because it takes time. My products can become my first thing, and I can sell those and get the commission or whatever, or get the high affiliate sales. So you need to think in terms of a product ecosystem. Think in terms of a product ecosystem. I'm a big Apple fan. I'm a big Amazon fan. Why? Because they've created an ecosystem. So my very first Apple product, I think, was an iPad, right? From the iPad, I went to an iMac. From the iMac, I went to a MacBook, right? Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to transition to the iPhone. I don't know. But the Apple has created an ecosystem. Amazon created an ecosystem. There is a next sale. So you go to Amazon, buy a book. Number one, they offer you a next sale at the bottom. Hey, if you like this, other customers have purchased this. Not only was another product their next sale, then they start selling Amazon Prime. They had a continuity sale, right? Then they started offering Amazon Music and Amazon Drive or storage, whatever. These are additional sales. So now hosting, some of my projects are hosted on Amazon. Why? Because they continued. Once you believed in the brand, you continue to build out the next thing and next thing. Well, those are the 5 aspects of an essential and profitable sales funnel in 2016. Hello there, Boo Nasser. Welcome. I've just gone over, and my lawn man is here now. I've just gone over the 5 essentials of a profitable sales funnel, and I'll repeat them quickly. A campaign mindset, articulated outcome, prospect momentum, overwhelming offer, and have a next thing. All right, this is Lee Fuller from Fullest Extent Media. And before I shut it down, is there anyone else that would like to jump in the hot seat and talk about their business? Anyone would like to have live Q&A about their sales process or their sales funnel? This is Lee Fuller, the Funnel Helper, calling once, twice. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you on Periscope. Thank you on Blab. And I'm out. Talk to you soon. And bye-bye. Stop.